Now, as you probably already know, Scene Here is always on the lookout for the more unusual or offbeat units that make up BFG. Well, recently Mike was invited to have a look around 617 Tank Transporter Squadron at Ham. There he met some real characters who make up this rather special unit.
Oldendorf to jest na drodze 217, musimy przejechać przez B1. A żeby przez B1 przejechać przez Hamy...
No, the Russians haven't taken over the barracks at Ham. These men are speaking Polish. Nearly half the 400 officers and men who work at 617 Tank Transporter Squadron belong to the MSO, the Mixed Service Organisation, which here is 85% Polish. So how come there are so many Poles working with the British Army? Well, during the war, no country suffered such organised and systematic destruction as Poland, with first Germany and then Russia trying to remove Free Poland from the map. Most of these men fought in their country's underground army against the Nazis, and later were imprisoned in POW or concentration camps like the notorious Auschwitz. When the war ended, many who didn't want to return to their homeland, once again under the domination of another power, chose to remain in Germany and join the British Army, like these who came to Ham to work with tank transporters. One such is Edward Jarek, a Pole who fought for the resistance in Warsaw, where he was captured and sent to a POW camp in Fallingbostel. He's been with 617 driving these mighty ANTAR tank transporters since 1947. But did you not want to go back to Poland?
No, we don't. Before we don't go to Poland, we have fighting for democrat, and was the Russian army coming to Poland. And we must here stopping in Germany.
In the 1940s, you could have gone off to America or to England. Why did you decide to stay with the British Army in Germany?
Yeah, I have been young man, 22 years, yeah, and young man think I go to British Army and maybe it's better for me. Yeah. I have think, and I'm all times stopping in the army, and this time go quickly.
Over 40 years?
Yeah, very quickly, yeah.
Now, you've been driving machines like this for most of your working life. What are they like to drive?
Oh, it's good. It's a very good car. Yes, it's very good. I like this car. Yeah.
But it's not only people like Edward who've provided such loyal service to the British Army. These mighty ANTARs have also a long and distinguished history. They're probably the oldest army vehicles still on the road today. Most of the present fleet here are between 20 and 25 years old, but still carry 60-ton tanks around the country, averaging a mile to the gallon and boasting a top speed of 28 miles an hour. Due to their advancing years, these ANTARs need a lot of looking after. Kazu Hekumak has been fixing vehicles like this for 36 years and is almost revered among his younger Remy colleagues. Always the first one in every morning to open up the workshops, what he doesn't know about ANTARs simply isn't worth knowing, and he's very proud of the engines he repairs.
When good driver and good all, we have here one driver is not more JR, 125,000
miles.
Mile, with the same engine, the same gearbox, the same differential, all the same, on the same clutch.
Yes?
Yeah, no problem.
And what about this engine? How many miles has this one done?
This is new engine. Maybe, we tell maybe 40,000 to 60,000 miles. When good driver.
You must have a good driver.
Yeah.
And what do all the unique history of the MSO in 617 is reflected in their squadron standard, which was hand-woven by local Catholic nuns. The background is red, the ceremonial colour of the Polish military, with the pre-war symbol of Poland, the crowned white eagle in the centre. The words around the outside say God, honour and fatherland, the ideals of the Polish military. And on one side, the face of a man who to many symbolises the suffering of the Poles during the war, as Second Lieutenant Sean Kelly explained to me.
It's a portrait of the Blessed Father Kolbe. The dates here refer to the date of his birth and of the day he was made a saint. The Blessed Father Kolbe was a priest in Auschwitz during the war, and he took the place of a Polish prisoner of war who was going to his death in the gas chamber. And this particular Polish prisoner of war later became a superintendent of this unit. He's now retired. but he is well known throughout the unit.
And this priest gave up his life?
Gave up his life for this man, Chemko, yes.
Next to the main vehicle park, the strong religious heritage of the Poles can still be seen today in this beautiful little chapel. It's a tribute not only to the skill, but also the bravery of the Polish craftsmen who were imprisoned in Germany during the war. Everything is hand-carved and hand-painted. Some bits were made secretly in POW camps, often at the risk of death, with the rest put together by MSO craftsmen straight after the war. This organ, for example, was smuggled into a POW camp piece by piece. And this confessional is made out of old German army wardrobes. Vladislav Paterik is affectionately known to everyone as the Godfather, not only because he's in charge of the MSO, but also because he looks after the chapel, which he still regards as a very important part of MSO life.
This chapel, you see, that what I will tell you one thing, that is this our ghost. Because everybody are thinking of his own country, of his brothers, sisters, of parents, and mostly by this church you came to talk about your life, and we took this life how that is in the Bible.
But times are changing. These mighty ANTARs are to be replaced by a new breed of more sophisticated tank transporters. And sadly, the 40-year association between 617 and the MSO is also to end next year, with the 2 remaining Polish troops being taken over by the RCT. But there's no doubt that the MSO, with all their experience, good humour, courage, and above all their reputation for professional ability second to none, will be greatly missed by those who have served alongside them. But they won't be forgotten. Their standard will still be proudly retained even when the squadron becomes all British. A fitting tribute to the men who for 40 years have given so much to the British Army.
And there can't be many servicemen who can say they've had the same job in the same place for 40 years. And perhaps your unit is different or unusual in some aspect, whether in its history, its role, its equipment or its people. If so, we'd love to hear from you. So do drop us a line at Seen Here, SSVC Television, BFPO 40. That's Seen Here, SSVC Television, BFPO 40. Now, the old saying that a watched kettle never boils certainly